This is a 2-minute warning, okay? We're going to get started in 2 minutes. Thank you. And that's on.
Yes.
So, bullhead first. Have a soothing cue.
They asked me to.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I grabbed some napkins from the kitchen, but that's better. Thank you.
Take one before I leave.
Okay, thank you. Wow, thank you for taking that 2-minute warning so seriously. You know, it's a little bit after 10. Let's get started because, holy cow, we have a lot of graduates today, right? So, yeah. You know, there's always some family and friends that show up to a ceremony like this and may not know me or what the program is about. So, my name is Rick Williams. I'm a Superior Court judge. I've been on the bench for about 15 years, and we have had an adult recovery court program for, I think, 10 years, actually. It turns 11 next January, if my memory serves me correctly. And I've been involved in the recovery court program since day one, and it's the highlight of my job. The reason it's the highlight of my job is because I get to work with a very dedicated team of professionals. It's what we refer to as a problem-solving court, which requires a lot of teamwork and collaboration. But the other part that I love about this job is that I get to work with people like our graduates, like our current clients, like our former graduates that are working really damn hard to improve their lives and to restore their lives. And it's just meaningful work. It's the best part of the job. And so I wanted to give kind of an overview of the program just to give some context to the hard work our graduates have put in. This program is for people that have gotten into some trouble and they wind up on probation for a felony offense and there's an identified substance use disorder or addiction. This is the toughest form of probation that there is, in my opinion. And you've heard of other forms like IPS or intensive probation. In my opinion, this program is the toughest form of probation there is. Our clients have to come to court every week. They meet with their probation officer every week. They have to engage and participate in frequent random drug and alcohol testing. And by the time they've graduated, they will have attended hundreds of hours of therapeutic services. This program is tough. And as further evidence of how tough and challenging this program is, we recently updated our statistics for the program. We try to keep statistics just to, determine, are we doing our jobs well, what can be improved on, and so forth. Since this program started, we have had 542 clients, which is a pretty big number. Since we started this program, 145 have graduated the program successfully. That's actually kind of a low number by comparison, right? And when you do the math, and trust me, I had to use a calculator for this, that means 27% of our participants actually make it across the finish line. We have a 27% graduation rate. That's pretty low, actually. That's lower than the national average. To me, it's a testament to how difficult and how tough this program is. The good news is that for those that graduate, they are set up for long-term success. Because another statistic that we're quite proud of is that 79% of our graduates remain crime-free. That's, yeah. And that's one of the metrics you use to determine whether or not a program is effective, whether or not it reduces recidivism, as they call it. And this program is more effective and more efficient with respect to reducing recidivism than incarceration, even the national average for treatment courts. So that's a statistic, wow. Either too much coffee or not enough. That's a statistic that we are really proud of. And what it proves is that the Adult Recovery Court reduces recidivism and promotes public safety more effectively than incarceration, and even, again, than the national average for treatment courts. So enough of me talking for now, because you're not here to listen to me. You're here to listen to our graduates and our guest speakers. So I'd like to say a few words about Kelly Williams, no relation, by the way, before she comes up and says a few words. Kelly is actually a graduate of our program. She graduated in June of 2018. So, yeah. I did not have the pleasure of working with her in the program. She actually worked primarily with Judge Sipe, and then toward the end a little bit with Judge Gregory. But she graduated the program in June of 2018. She has since earned a degree in substance abuse counseling. She's also currently the Special Needs Housing Program Coordinator for the Mojave County Community Services Department. She's devoted to advocating and supporting those in our community that may be facing challenges. And as a side note, she's a motorcycle enthusiast, and she also enjoys crafting large family dinners. So I imagine Thanksgiving was a pretty special holiday for her, and for those that got to eat her stuff, I guess. But anyway, we are very proud that she's here. We're proud of her successes. Please join me in welcoming Kelly Williams.
Well, hello. It's been a few years since I've stood up here. So before we get started, if you don't mind, I know that we've all lost people in the past few years to addiction, to all of the things that we have going on in our life. If you would please stand, I would like to have a moment of silence for those that we've lost. Thank you. Good morning, distinguished guests, fellow graduates, esteemed members of the Adult Recovery Court team of Mojave County, and everyone who has gathered here today. I stand before you not just as a speaker, but as a living testament to the transformative power of hope, resilience, and unwavering support. My name is Kelly Williams Greer, and I'm a proud graduate of this life-changing program. Today marks not just another speaking engagement for me, but a celebration of a journey that began on June 8th of 2017, the day I embraced sobriety and started rewriting my story. Back in 2018, when I graduated from the Adult Recovery Court, I embarked on a path that many thought impossible for me. It was a path filled with challenges and triumphs, a journey of rediscovery and renewal. Today, I am humbled to share this journey with you, a journey that led me from the depths of despair to the Special Needs Housing Program Coordinator in Mojave County, a role that allows me to give back to those who where I once was. But more than a story of professional advancement, this is a tale of personal redemption and the power of second chances. It's about reconnecting with loved ones, rebuilding broken bridges, and realizing that every day is a new opportunity to make a difference, not only in our lives, but in the lives of others. As we embark on this journey together today, through the words I share, I hope to kindle a flame of hope in your hearts, a hope that burns brightly with the message that no matter where you are in your story, a new chapter is always waiting to be written, a chapter filled with hope, with healing, and with the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Thank you for the opportunity to share my story that mirrors many of yours, and I hope it serves as a beacon of light, guiding and inspiring us all towards a future brimming with endless possibilities. In the tapestry of life, every thread, no matter how dark or frayed, contributes to the strength and color of the whole picture. My life, too, has its share of threads, weaving a pattern of challenges that once seemed insurmountable. Losing custody of my daughter was a heartbreak that words cannot fully capture. It was a loss that pierced the very core of my being, a constant reminder of the road I had taken and where it had led me. Alongside this profound loss, I faced the harsh realities of homelessness, nights without a roof over my head, days filled with uncertainty, and these were the stark realities of my life. Unemployment cast a long shadow over my days, further complicating an already difficult journey. It wasn't about the lack of a job, it was about losing a sense of purpose, a part of my identity. And as if these challenges weren't enough, I found myself navigating the complex and daunting worlds of probation and parole simultaneously. This period of my life felt like walking a tightrope where every step had to be measured, every decision weighed with caution. Perhaps one of the most painful aspects of this chapter was the complete disconnect from my family. 20 years had passed without contact, without a shared word or a shared moment. In their eyes, I was more a memory than a presence. Some even thought that I had left this world. Such was the extent of our estrangement. And then came the turning point, being sentenced to drug court. To many, this might sound like a descent further into despair, but for me, it was the very first ray of light, the first sign of a possible new beginning. Drug court was not just a sentence. It became my lifeline, my gateway to a life that I had lost hope of ever living. In sharing these struggles with you, I do not seek sympathy, but rather to illustrate a truth that is often hard to see when we are in the throes of our darkest moments. Within every challenge lies the seed of transformation. Each hurdle I faced, each night of despair, was a step towards a future I could not yet see. A future where these very struggles would become my greatest teachers, guiding me towards a resilience that I never even knew that I had. As I stand here today, I see those challenges not as scars, but as badges of strength, evidence of a journey through the depths of hardship to the heights of hope. It is a journey many of you are familiar with, a path we walk together, learning, growing, and overcoming one step at a time. When I was first sentenced to recovery court, I confess my mindset was not one of change, but of challenge. I thought I could outsmart the system, navigate it, without really committing to the transformation it was designed to foster. I believed I could be the one to fake it till I make it, bypassing the real work that recovery demanded. However, life, as I was soon to discover, had other plans for me. This journey took an unexpected turn when I was sent to a rehab facility in Phoenix. Excuse me. It was there in an environment designed not just to break the cycle of addiction, but to rebuild lives, that something within me shifted. I spent 30 days in this facility, days that were perhaps the most pivotal of my entire journey. There was no mere pause in my life. It was a complete reset. During those transformative days, I didn't just graduate from the program, I turned a new leaf in my life. It was as if I had closed the book on my past and opened a new one, a book where each page was blank, waiting for a new story to be written. And it was in this facility that I found something invaluable, my recovery family. This group of strangers who walked different paths but shared a common goal became an integral part of my journey. They were my support, my sounding board, and my inspiration. Returning from Phoenix, I was not the same person who had left the facade of faking it. The facade of faking it had crumbled away, and in its place, a resolve that was genuine and firm. I was ready and willing to put in the work, not just for myself, but as a beacon of hope for others who might struggle as I had. I embraced the principles and practices of recovery, not as a sentence, but as an opportunity to rebuild, to reinvent, and to inspire. Through the structured environment of recovery court, I learned discipline, accountability, and the true meaning of resilience. It wasn't just about staying clean. It was about understanding the underlying cause of addiction, confronting them, and emerging stronger. It was about learning to trust the process, even when it seemed daunting or unclear. Today, as I reflect on this chapter of my life, I am filled with an overwhelming sense of gratitude. Gratitude for the chance to redeem myself, for the lessons learned, and for the people who stood by me through this journey. The recovery court was not just a court of law, it was a court of life, teaching me lessons that I carry with me every single day. And so to those currently navigating through their journey in recovery court, I say this: embrace the opportunity with an open heart and a willing spirit. The work is hard, the road is long, but the transformation is very real. You too can emerge not just as a graduate of this program, but as a champion of your own life, an inspiration to others, and a testament to the power of second chances. As I navigated the path of recovery and transformation, an equally significant journey was unfolding in my personal life. A journey of love, reconnection, and fulfillment. At the heart of this journey is my incredible partner, my husband, the love of my life, who stood by me through every high and low. His unwavering support was not just a source of comfort, it was a beacon of hope, guiding me through the darkest days. Marrying him in 2019 was not just a celebration of our love, but a testament to a power of companionship and understanding in the face of life's toughest challenges. My career, too, took a turn towards purpose and service. With the support of Arizona at Work, I embarked on a career dedicated to helping others. This was not just a job, it was a calling that was further solidified when I received my Associates of Arts degree in substance abuse counseling. This achievement was more than an academic milestone. It was a tool that helped empower me to make a meaningful difference in the lives of those battling the same demons I once faced. Another significant moment of healing and joy came with the reconnection of my family. After 2 decades of separation and silence, bridging the gap with them was like finding a missing piece of my heart. It was a reunion that healed old wounds and sowed the seeds of new beginnings. The journey back to each other was a powerful reminder that it's never too late to rebuild bridges and restore bonds. Amidst these milestones, I experienced moments of personal triumph that I had once thought were beyond my reach. I bought my first brand new car, a symbol of independence and a testament to how far I had come. Furthermore, I've had the honor of becoming the first female president of the Fraternal Order of Eagles, allowing me to raise money for charity and give back to our community. My commitment to service extended beyond this role as I became an activist for those experiencing homelessness in our community. This cause is close to my heart, reflecting my own journey from despair to hope, from homelessness to a life of purpose and stability. Today, I can say with the utmost gratitude and humility that I live a blessed and charmed life. A life that once seemed unattainable is now my reality. This transformation, this journey from the depths of addiction to a life of love, service, and connection is a testament to the fact that no matter how far we may fall, there is always a way back up. There is always a chance for redemption and a new beginning. As I stand here, a proud graduate, a loving partner, a dedicated professional, and a leader in my community, I am reminded every day of the beauty and resilience of the human spirit. My story, like so many of yours, is one of falling down and rising up, of losing and finding, of breaking and mending. And so to everyone listening, know this: no matter where you are in your journey, remember that every step, every struggle, and every victory is a part of a larger, beautiful story. A story that is uniquely yours, but also shared in the collective heart of humanity. Let's continue to write our stories with courage, with love, and with the unwavering belief that the best is yet to come. As I stand here today reflecting on a journey that once seemed impossible, I read that already. That's fine. I'll read it again. Reflecting on a journey that once seemed impossible, I am filled with gratitude and hope. Hope not just for myself, but for each person who finds themselves on a path similar to the one that I once walked. Remember, our past does not define us. Instead, it's the steps we take today and every day after that shape our future. I've learned that every challenge, every setback is not a sign to give up, but a call to rise higher, to grow stronger. In my darkest moments, I could never envision standing before you, not just as a survivor, but as a thriver. My transformation from the depths of despair to the heights of hope was not a journey I walked alone. It was a path paved with support of loved ones, the guidance of mentors, and the unwavering belief that life could be and would be better. So to those that are struggling, know this: you are not alone. There is a world of support waiting for you and a future filled with possibilities. To those of you who are part of someone else's support system, know that your presence, your encouragement, and your love can be the light that guides someone out of their darkest hour. Today, I am proud of who I've become. But more than that, I'm excited for who I will be tomorrow. I look forward to the day my daughter finds me and sees not the shadows of who I was, but the brightness in who I am. As we look towards the future, let us do so with the knowledge that each day is a new opportunity for growth, for change, and for creating a life filled with purpose and joy. Let us be beacons of hope for each other, lighting the way towards a future where recovery, resilience, and redemption are not just possibilities, but realities. Thank you for allowing me to share my story. May we all find the strength to continue on our journeys, the courage to face our challenges, and the joy in every victory, no matter how small. Here's to building a future that shines brighter than our past together. And as Winston Churchill said, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Thank you.
Wow, that was wonderful. That was powerful stuff. Thank you so much. I almost don't want to follow that. That sets the bar pretty high. So we're going to transition into some promotions and then some graduation speeches. Now, we'll start with Bullhead City and okay, one person clap for Bullhead City. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We have some phase promotions that we're going to hand out today. Most of these should be surprises. So when your name is called, I'm going to ask you to please come down, accept your certificate. You don't have to get a speech. I'm not going to let you give a speech. And then please stay down here. And once all of the phase promotions for Bullhead are handed down, we'll take one group photo, and then we'll do the same for Havasu when it's their turn, and then Kingman, okay? And also, just as kind of a public service announcement, I've been doing this a number of years. Every time there's at least one client out there that gets upset because they didn't get a surprise promotion. Deal with it, okay? Get over it. It just means it's not your time, and your time will come, okay? We actually talk about this as a team, and there are one or two that were kind of on the cusp and are like, well, it's not quite time yet. Just hang in there. Be grateful and happy for the ones that get the promotion today. Your time is coming. Just be patient, okay? Okay, Judge. Thank you. So, for our Bullhead City promotions, promoting from phase 2 to phase 3, Brandon Simon. See you brought your fan club with you. I guess so. Promoting from phase 3 to phase 4, Gavin Foley. There you go, sir. Thank you. Promoting from phase 4 to phase 5. This is the final phase of our program, folks. Zoe Cardoza. last promotion we're giving for Bullhead, going from Phase 4 to Phase 5, Bianca Cisneros. And before we call up our first graduate, in years past, I've always had a few words to say about each graduate, some recollections, things that had come to mind. I'm not doing that today because we have a lot of graduates. And again, we're trying to, listen to them, not me. But it in no way diminishes the importance of each of these graduates and the things that I've learned from them and just the inspiration that they've all given me as well as the entire team. So I just want you to know that in case you're wondering, oh, Judge Williams doesn't have a funny story for this one. It's nothing personal. I'm just trying to keep the show going, okay? So we're going to start with Bullhead City, and these are in alphabetical order. Our first graduate today, Scott Barker.
Thank you very much. I grew up in a dysfunctional family. Not a day went by that there was not chaos. When there was not chaos. Short, sorry. Not a day went by when there was not chaos. When I was very young, my mom took my brother, my sister, and me and ran as far away from my dad as they could. He would always drink and then beat my mom all the time, and she finally had the courage to get away from him. She took us to live with my grandma. Things didn't get any better from there. Everyone around me was drinking and getting high. There was always violence. It became normal for me. By age 7, I was smoking cigarettes and marijuana. My brother and me were always getting into trouble with the law. My mom tried to discipline us, but we still didn't listen. I never paid much attention in school, just kept getting into fights in school. My grandma died when I was about 11 years old. After that, I stopped caring about anything. At that point, I was smoking marijuana full time. I dropped out of school in 7th grade and started running the streets. I huffed gas every day for a year until I almost died. I started getting into a lot of trouble, running from the cops, going to juvenile, getting MIPs, and got put on probation. By the time I was 13, I was taking mushrooms. Then I moved on to harder drugs. At 14 years old, I was smoking meth and selling it. Long story short, I kept going down that dark road for 7 years until my girlfriend got pregnant and had my son. We decided to get away from Longview. On the way to AZ, we stopped in Reno and got married. Everything was good for a long time after that. My wife got pregnant and we had my daughter. After a while, I got back into doing meth. I ended up destroying everything I built. I remember sitting on the couch higher than a kite, and I overheard my kids say, "He don't love us enough to stop." It was a big smack in the face, a snap back into reality. I was putting everyone that I loved through so much pain. I was at my rock bottom. I became more than willing to get the help I needed. I decided I needed to go to inpatient treatment and made the decision with my probation officer to be put on drug court. It was the best choice I ever made. I knew it was what I had to do to change my life and be accountable. Sorry. I have accomplished more in a year and a half than I have my whole life. I have worked 2 jobs for the past year, completed all my treatment plans and anger management classes. I went back to school to get my GED and now have it, something I never thought I would have. I am now a law-abiding citizen, something I never thought I would be. My relationship with my kids is amazing. It's the best feeling in the world to have my children say that they are proud of me. And I know that they know that I do love them enough. I now have my own place. My daughter lives with me, and my son knows that he is always welcome to do the same. I am a full-time parent again, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I have enrolled into HVAC certification classes and start in January. It is amazing how much you can accomplish in life if you just give yourself a chance, and how many people will help you get there if you just accept their help and advice. I want to thank everyone that has done that for me. All the drug court staff, my PO, my mother and father-in-law, my children, and anyone else that has been kind enough to help me. I know if I can do it, anyone else can do it. Thank you for your time.
Well done. All right, stick around. I'll trade places with you. So, to also explain, each of our graduates do get a certificate of completion commemorating their graduation from the program. We also do have a parting gift, a phone stand with Bluetooth speakers. There you go. And then also, this is really cool, and this was designed by our probation chief, Alan Palomino. It's a commemorative recovery court coin with the county seal on one side, and then on the other side it says, "I now have the tools, strength, and ability to overcome all challenges." So, these are for you. Thank you. And Richard? Our next graduate from Bullhead City, Amber Gao. There you go.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Hey, Jess. Good morning, Recovery Court. Wow, what a journey this has been. Recovery Court is no easy feat. It is a huge adjustment and commitment. However, if you allow it to, it'll transform your life. I am 31 years old. I come from a family with a history of addiction. I started drinking around 15, which led to smoking weed. I was 17 when I met my partner, and we tried opiates for the first time together. I wasn't prepared for the effects it would have on me. You see, I've struggled with depression since I was very young. I would get overwhelming feelings of hopelessness and despair. I would go from being this cheerful goofball who always tried making other people laugh to someone who would isolate and couldn't face the world. So when I tried opiates for the first time, it was like I found the elixir of life. And before I knew it, oh wait, hold on. Opiates made me feel like I was normal. I thought they helped me to be sociable and get me through everyday life. It might have started out that way, but I was only self-medicating my underlying problems. And before I knew it, I was addicted. I didn't realize I had a predisposition to addiction, but once it has a hold of you, it takes an act of God to pull you out. Addiction would continue to have a hold on me. I eventually turned to meth, using it until I was 29 years old. I hit one rock bottom after another. I ended up losing everything. I lost custody of my children and became homeless. While living on the streets, I continued to downward spiral. I felt, what was the point of living now? I just went further and further down a road to a slow death. I lost any bit of connection to reality I had left. I truly lost my mind. I was seeing things that were not there, thinking people were after me. I was scared and alone. I was hopeless. Until that fate-filled day of getting arrested. I didn't see the blessing it was at the time. I also couldn't help but feel a sense of relief. I felt rescued in a way. In my jail cell, God found me. He reminded me of who I am. He reminded me of everything I had to fight for. And fighting is what I did. It wasn't easy, especially in the beginning. I couldn't seem to get the hang of recovery. I completed 90 days at Revive and then transitioned from there to live with my parents and my children. I wasn't quite ready, however. I had a lot more soul work to do. Revive was the beginning of my recovery journey. After living such a rough life on the streets, Revive showed me there was another way. I learned self-care there and dedication. The gym is where I did a lot of meditating, soul-searching, and persevering. Chris and his staff were so caring and kind. Chris has a huge passion for the work he does, and Victoria taught me you can start your day over anytime you need to. Her relationship with God was beautiful and inspiring. I made lasting relationships there with the most supportive friends I'd ever known. It wasn't too long after Revive, I found myself being pulled back in. I ended up drinking, and that led to using meth again. Ashamed of my relapse, with my tail tucked between my legs, I knew I needed help. So I went to my amazing counselor, Ashley. She was kind and understanding. She got me in touch with Chaz, who was also amazing, and they set everything up and got me enrolled in Hildy's house. Hildy's house was a huge turning point in my life. The therapy materials and tools I received there through West Care were life-changing. I ended up using again while I was at Hildy's. What should have been the end of the road for me instead was another chance, which is exactly what I so desperately needed. The recovery team had had enough of my mess-ups. My next court date was horrific. Everyone was so disappointed in me. I had never seen Judge Williams so upset. I was put on a termination contract. One more mess-up and my probation would have been revoked. I was shown grace, understanding, and hospitality when Bobby allowed me to stay at Hildy's. In broken spirits, I began healing. Bobby is an amazing, kind, and brilliant human being. I learned so much from him. Judge Williams truly is a just and fair judge. He and everyone on the team honestly want to see me and all of us succeed. My probation officer, Sarah, has been one of my biggest supporters, offering caring and honest advice and guidance. Something finally clicked in my brain. I was finally getting the hang of this recovery life. I am now a year and 2 months clean. I am so grateful and thankful to be where I am today. I have my children, my parents, my partner, and my higher power in my life. I would also like to mention that I am now currently 7 months pregnant with a sweet baby boy. I had 3 other amazing children. This is my first full pregnancy without using drugs. I hope if there are any other mommies here that may have been in my shoes, that my story might inspire and encourage you to keep going and never give up. For me, I have guilt and shame, but as I continue this journey, it gets easier to bear. If it were not for Recovery Court and the entire team, I would have never made it to where I am today. So if I could offer everyone in Recovery Court some advice, it would to be follow the rules and guidelines in place in this program and listen with an open mind and an open heart. Our thinking got us into undesirable places, so why not take some direction from the established team and apply it to our lives? Thank you.
Okay.
Nerve-wracking.
Were you? If you were nervous, it didn't show at all, by the way. Okay. So Amber, here's your certificate, your speaker, and your coin. Congratulations. Our next graduate is Matthew Lawson.
Hello. I started getting high with my friends when I was about 10 or 11, and I started off on meth, and then my brother did heroin, my oldest, and I started with him. Then my 7-year-old brother died, And I just kept getting worse, and then I kind of took off on my own, ran away, and I went 2,800 miles away from home. And then as I was gone during that time, when I was homeless, I lived in Oceanside, California. And I didn't think I was an addict. I thought I functioned. And I've learned in life that you never really function as long as you're on drugs, because you'll give something up in your family, friends. I gave every bit of that up. I destroyed my health, my kidneys, my liver, my heart's is bad. I got my valve leaked, and I got about 20 other elements. I take over 100 and some pills a day, and I have to take 4 shots a day plus insulin. And that's what it cost me. And it also cost me every relationship I had. My dad lived down the road from me for 20 some years. I never went and seen him, never said hi. When I did see him, I beat him half to death. And he was a good man that never did nothing wrong to me. And during all this, all I've learned is let people help you. And get your anger. I have anger problems. Get that under control and just, do the program. It will work. Just swallow your pride a bit and do it. Thank you.
Wow, again, appreciate the words. So, Matthew, here is your parting gift and your coin.
Okay.
And your certificate. Congratulations. All right, and the last graduate from Bullhead City, Joseph Liu. You got this, it's all yours.
Hi, everybody. My name is Joseph, and with the help of Recovery Court, I stand in front of you today, a proud recovering addict. I want to begin by thanking some people that have helped me along the way. Thank you, Judge Williams and the Recovery Court staff for being so supportive and for all the good advice and direction you've given me. You all have helped me more than you know. I also want to thank Westcare, Chaz, and Bobby for giving me a safe place to stay at the Sober Living House. Being there really helped me focus on me and what I needed to do for myself to get better. Chaz, thank you for everything you've done for me, all the chances you gave me, and for all the chances you've given me while I was at the house. You were always there for me, and you always answered your phone when I called, and when I needed something, you would always help me out. Thank you to Mojave Mental Health as well. I've learned a lot in the groups I got to attend there. Ashley, you are the best. I've opened up more to you about myself than I ever have with anyone. That's huge progress for me. I've always been a private person, and I don't usually open up to anybody. I feel so comfortable talking to you about anything. I really enjoy our one-on-ones together, and the Tuesday group every week is a riot. I love it. You have been extremely supportive and encouraging to me. Thank you for being there. You all have been extremely supportive and encouraging to me. Thank you for being there for me. I am very much grateful for all of you and the opportunities you have given me. Without all of you, I probably would not have made it this far. I have so many people that give me their support. I would be up here all day if I was to thank them all. So if I didn't mention your name, forgive me. Now I'll tell you a little bit about me. I'm 27 years old. I was born in Clarksville, Arkansas. I have a beautiful daughter named McKenna. She's 9 years old. I have 3 brothers and 2 sisters. I'm the oldest, but I don't think I'm the smartest. I think my little sister got the wits of the bunch. My siblings and I all spent lots of years of our childhood in foster care, which was really hard because we were all separated from each other. I believe this made me lash out at anyone and everyone everywhere I went. I started getting into a lot of trouble very young. I think the first time I went to juvie and was placed on probation was when I was 10 for fighting and smoking weed and a bunch of other stuff. I would get myself into trouble everywhere I went, and because of that, I was moved around a lot to different group homes and foster homes all over the place. I got used to not staying in the same place very long. When I was 16 years old, my little brother David passed away. I was in a foster home in Arkansas at the time and got to fly down here to Bullhead for his service. After that, I didn't really talk to anyone for a long time. I was sad and lost and angry and mad at the world. I blame myself for not being there for him like a big brother should. I don't blame myself anymore, though. I've been working on my emotions about it, and I know that he's always watching me and smiling. He's with me everywhere I go. I just want to make him proud of his big brother. I started using harder drugs around 17, 18 years old. For a good while, I was having a lot of fun when I would get high. It would make me forget about everything that bothered me, and I wouldn't be sad. It quickly went from something I would do for fun to something I had to do to feel good. I was hooked and I didn't even know yet. When I was 21, I moved here to Bullhead City to be closer with my mom and my other siblings. I was living with her and trying really hard not to get high again. I wanted to get away from it and start fresh. I thought it would be easy since I didn't know anyone out here yet. But of course, as soon as I started meeting people and making friends, the first time someone asked me to get high, I did, and it was right back off to the races for me. I started getting high every single day, bringing random people over to my mom's, people that I didn't even know, but I didn't care if they had drugs, so. Eventually, my mom had enough. She knew what was up, and she asked me to leave. She didn't want the stuff around her or the kids, so I left. I should have tried to stop at this point and make things right with my mom, but I didn't. Getting high was all I really thought about. I eventually got a job and bought an RV, which I lived in for about a year until I lost it. Then I was homeless for a while, just wandering around, staying at different people's houses, in their sheds, staying in tents, under bridges, waterways, at the park, just running around, just running amok all over the place. I got really good at being homeless, if that's even a thing. It became normal for me. I was tired of living that way, though. I did want to change and do better, but I didn't know how. Around this time is when I got myself into a lot of trouble with the law. I went to jail and was placed on probation and offered drug court. I've never been too good with authority, so I didn't know what to expect. I didn't think I would make it more than a month, to be honest. I was already planning on running from it all like I usually did and thinking about where I would go next. But I didn't run this time. It was time for me to grow up. I stayed and decided to see how this thing goes, and things did start to change for me. I think back now and remember being in jail, praying to God for help, asking him to let me out, and telling him I could be better. If he would just show me what to do, I'll do it. Of course, once I got out of jail, I wasn't praying anymore. Never even really thought about my prayer until now. Now I can see that being put on probation and drug court was the answer to my prayer. It was my second chance to change my life and prove to myself, God, and my family that I can be better. I've come so far from where I was, it's unbelievable. I would have never thought I would be living the life I live today, drug-free. I have wonderful, supportive friends. I have a great job, which I plan on going to college for and making it my career. I'm closer with my family and my daughter now than I have ever been before. I am excited for what the future holds for me. I know that as long as I stay on this path, I have nothing to fear. Life will humble me. No matter how much you think you have achieved, life will always find a way to bring you down at your knees. So maybe instead of constantly chasing the bigger things in life, try to start valuing the little moments. Because as we grow older, simplicity becomes the ultimate goal. Because it's the simple things in life that make us feel like we are really living. I wish everyone the best of luck, and thanks for listening.
Good deal. So, Joseph, here is your parting gift, your coin, and your certificate of completion. Thank you. You crossed the finish line. Thanks. All right, so we're going to move to our promotions from Lake Havasu. Promoting from Phase 1 to Phase 2, Melanie Sudetta. Is that what you go by, Mimi? Yeah. Okay. There you go. All right, and promoting from phase 4 to phase 5, the 5th and final phase, Austin Hathaway. Somebody take a picture. Thank you. Congrats. I will say this is a little bit unique because usually we only have like 1 or 2 graduates from Lake Havasu, and it's not because they struggle more than our other clients. It's because we usually have fewer numbers in the program in Havasu than Bullhead or especially Kingman, but holy cow, we've got a number of graduates from Havasu, so this is exciting. Our first graduate, Braylon Anderson.
Hi. I'm so nervous, sorry. Hi, my name is Braylon, and I am a recovering addict and alcoholic. I have struggled with the use of drugs and alcohol for almost 20 years. If it was not for drug court, I do not know where I would be right now. I am so grateful that I was given the opportunity to change my life. I have the foundation I need to build and create a life worth living without the use of drugs and alcohol. I did not know how to stop using drugs on my own, and nor did I have the strength to make a positive change. I was addicted to meth and fentanyl, and I had no solution to the choices I seemed to make in life. I had a secret that I thought nobody knew about. The secret kept me sick for a long time, and the progression of the disease got worse as time went on. The shame I felt kept me in denial, and I eventually isolated myself from my family and the people who love me. The day that I got arrested, I feel like it was a blessing in disguise. I was given the opportunity to do drug court and not go to prison. When I started drug court, they told me to be honest, and I finally was honest with myself, my family, and the courts. I did not realize how bad things really got in my life. I knew it was going to be tough, but I finally had enough with the way my life was, and I had a desire to change. So I asked for help. There was no way I could get sober on my own, so I decided to go to Revive on February 25th, 2022, sorry. And that was the last day that I used any substances. Going to Revive helped me to stay sober and work on myself. It opened my eyes to a new way of living. I was introduced to AA and NA, where I have met so many wonderful people going through the same things that I was going through. After going to Revive and gaining so many tools for my recovery is when the real work started. I moved into the Oxford house. At that time, I got a full-time job and was able to pay rent and my car payment and start my new life of recovery. I wanted to do everything right, but it was tough in the beginning. I was going to CMS every day, counseling groups, as well as working and having a commitment at AA and NA. I then got a sponsor and worked the 12 steps with her. I continued to be part of the fellowship and go to meetings every day. What worked for me in the beginning is what I must continue to do for the rest of my life. I have learned that I have to work hard at my recovery and put as much effort into changing as I did into my using and that lifestyle. I am so grateful to be clean and sober today. I recently found out I have cancer. I know today that if I was not sober, then I would not be mentally healthy enough to fight the disease of cancer. I have been given the tools that I need to get through this difficult time in my life. I have learned that no matter what, I do not pick up, even if I want to. I also know that most feelings will pass in just a few minutes and that I no longer have to act on them. In the past, I did not know how to get through anything without drinking or using. But today I'm able to handle situations that I thought were impossible. And this is the promise that recovery has to offer. Today I'm so grateful for my life and my recovery. I am so grateful that I'm able to fight my cancer sober and not in prison with a clear mind as well as a clear conscience. I feel that getting sober has brought me closer to God, and the closer I feel to God, the more I believe in myself. Thank you.
All right, Braylon, thank you. We have your parting gift in your coin. That is for you. And here's your certificate of completion. You made it. Our next Havasu graduate, Zachary Davis.
Hello. All right. March 23rd, 2022 marked a turning point in the journey towards self-discovery. It was the day I conquered my addiction and chose to follow the path of recovery. My decision to get clean has paved the way for many accomplishments that have redefined my existence in many ways I thought not possible. Specifically, I have come into possession of my own apartment, fostered healthier family relationships, as well as finding myself a group of trustworthy friends. As amazing as it all is, it did not happen overnight. It was a process of starting my journey at Revive, transitioning into Oxford House, and having the support of Narcotics Anonymous. I am forever grateful for they have played instrumental roles in helping me find myself and finding a new way to live. Looking back at the beginning, I may not have found purpose if not had Recovery Court shown me discipline and their guidance. Prior to my recovery, my addiction left me homeless, broken, and alone. So as you can imagine, securing my own apartment, first I might add, was a pivotal triumph. Not only that, it signified a newfound sense of independence and stability. My decision to get clean has allowed me to repair and strengthen the relationships with my family and make amends for a lot of my past actions. Today, I can proudly say that my family and I have rebuilt our bonds, and I have their full love, respect, and support. In addition to my family, I have my friends. My friends have become an invaluable source of encouragement and inspiration. My group of friends, who many have walked similar paths, have been my pillar of support. Every day, I am reminded how grateful I am to have each and every one in my life. Since March 23rd, 2022, my decision to get clean has not only saved my life, but as you can see, has allowed me to flourish in many ways. I'll be forever grateful for the opportunities and treasures life has blessed me with, and won't take it for granted. I have many thanks to everyone who helped me get to where I am today. Thank you.
All right. That's for you, sir.
Thank you.
Here's your certificate. Our next graduate from Lake Havasu, Bradley Lott.
All right, how's it going? All right, so is my heart rate. All right. All right. We hear it all the time. If I can do it, anyone can. A big part of succeeding in graduating this program is finding it in yourself to surrender, believe in yourself, and change every single area of your life that is going to hold you back and ruin your sobriety. Without sobriety, you're guaranteed to ruin your chance to graduate and have any chance of freedom or finding yourself. When all this started and I had nowhere else to run, I had so many doubts that I would never be able to stay sober for the rest of my life, or even long enough to graduate. I had no choice but to start believing in myself, surrender, and make the changes I should have made a long time ago. Nothing for me was close to a quick learning process. I couldn't get on track if my life depended on it. My first taste of recovery came when I got sent to Revive the first time. I learned so many things and really thought I had found the strength and will to stay sober. And I was completely wrong. I graduated, moved into Oxford House, and things started to move forward for me until suddenly old people, places, and things. I was right back into the same old routine and more scared than ever. I lost my place to live, started to think about running again, which has always been my go-to. Luckily, the judge and his team gave me just one more chance, and off to Revive I went again. Not sure why they gave me another chance, but I'm beyond grateful that they did. The second time around, I truly figured it out. I learned how to believe in myself, lead by example. Truly figured it out and learned how to believe in myself. I led by example, shared my story, and applied myself. It's been almost 2 years, if not more, that I've been in this program with plenty of roadblocks along the way. 6 months in rehab, slip after slip, chance after chance, and finally here I stand in front of you. October 24th, I celebrated 1 year clean. Thank you. I am the father to my 2 boys that I've always wanted to be. I'm mending and getting to know my oldest daughter. I have a roof over my head. I pay my bills on time. I have a job that I enjoy and that appreciates me. I've started working towards my GED and furthering my education to hopefully own my own business one day, to be that much more of a provider and a role model. I just want to be successful. I want to watch my kids grow up. I never want to miss another birthday or holiday. I still have a lot to learn and accomplish to reach my goal, but now I can say I have faith and I believe that it is possible. Thank you all for listening. Thank you to the team for the second, third, and fourth chances and always pushing and believing in me. This experience and you guys are exactly what I needed. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's kind of a theme, like you got the earbuds, you got a
I know, I was thinking the
speaker,
same exact thing. Thank you.
and then here's your certificate.
Awesome.
Great job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Our next Havasu graduate, Derek McCormick.
Hello, everybody. You already know my name, the judge told you. It's an honor to be up here today. This program has completely saved my life. Literally saved my life. So I wrote my speech off of the 9th step promises. There's 12 promises in the 9th step, if you know the program. Those promises have come true for me. Every single one of them, not only have they come true once through the program, but whenever I was writing my speech and really looking at each step, I really was able to identify those promises unfolding all day, every day, like all of the time. And as a friend from the program mentioned right before we all sat down today, that those can be taken from you just as quickly. You can lose them and you'll become baffled again. And you know, the way that I know how to overcome that is I stay in program. I know that I need to stay in program, and I know that I need to rely on my God and get on my knees whenever I need to. And even when I don't need to, whenever I'm not healthy is whenever I need to be working on myself, you know, in program, but whenever I am healthy is whenever I need to be working on myself in here. Anyways, so the miracle started happening for me the day that I was arrested. This happens to be my sobriety date of February 16th, 2022. I was literally tired of being drunk and high all the time, and I was ready to quit. At the time, my solution was to die or go to prison. I was actually on my way to driving through Kingman on my way to Zion to off of it was the prettiest cliff I could think of. Anyways, the story is I was crazy high drunk at the time. I wanted to go off of the cliff whenever I saw an eagle and just like send my spirit with him or whatever. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so I was being booked into the Mojave County Jail because I was kind of having a spiritual fight, and I decided that, I was praying. I was in that rut, like, God, I really don't want to die. I'd rather go to prison. I know I've been to prison before, and I know I can be sober there. That's my problem. I'm drunk, you know. So I knew that prison was an answer for me. So anyways, the lady in booking, she'd asked me what was going on with me, and I told her my story, short version. She began to cry. And I was like, why does this lady even care? Her name is Jen. Many of you may know she's a release coordinator. Honestly, she's the very first person to start my journey to recovery, and I thank her from the bottom of my heart. If that message could be relayed to her. She gave me hope. like real hope. Like, no, you don't have to go to prison. Like, we have programs here. Like, let me work with you and your attorney. I can get you on access. We can get you into Revive. And she was so adamant about it, and she gave me hope. I didn't even know what hope was. I didn't care what hope was. So she's the only person I'm really going to name by name, because everybody else that knows me knows how much you mean to me. I don't want to miss anybody, but if you know me, I mean, there's people that have come into Revive, people from Bullhead, Kingman, everywhere, but other people in the program that are here. I love you all, and thank you so much for being a part of my recovery. But for me, the only person I want to name is Jen, because she's not part of this right now. She helped me get into drug court and Revive. So this is where the promises started for me. I was amazed that somebody cared. I started my journey to knowing a new freedom and a new happiness. On April 21st, 2022, Revive picked me up from jail, from here, just straight outside these doors, and I began treatment. And thank you, Chris, for sending your people. Anyways, I began treatment. The following week, I entered the ARC program, the Arizona Recovery Court program. I had zero confidence of being able to abide at all by their rules. I was like, no, hell no, whatever. And honestly, I wasn't even sure that I wanted what they were offering. And the biggest reason why I didn't know that I wanted what they were offering is because I didn't know what it was that they were offering. I had no clue of everything that I was about to get myself into. And I do remember signing that paper in Revive one day, like, nah, I don't want this crap. But anyways, I can now say that I know exactly what they were offering me. And what they were actually offering me was just pointing me the way. They were just like, here, it's right here in front of you. We have these programs. We just do what we say. Do what we suggest, and you'll find your way. So I know exactly what they had to offer for me, and I really, 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 really appreciate it. Your statistics might be low, but for me, they work so far. Keep myself humble here anyways. They pointed the way for me to know a new freedom and a new happiness. Revive gave me the tools to open the doors of my past and taught me ways to overcome some of my regrets. Revive opened new doors for me by introducing me to the rooms of NA and AA. That I'll be forever grateful for. I had heard of the rooms before, but see, that's something my dad did, or my grandpa did. The environment at Revive is what helped me to comprehend the word serenity. They even have a room that's like the Serenity Room, and you could just go in there and in all the chaos and just absolute silence, and it was really nice. They planted knowledge in my heart of peace. I started to open up, and I was able to see how my experience was benefiting others. I noticed that other people's experiences were benefiting me, and that's how I knew that my experience was benefiting them. The feelings of uselessness and self-pity started to disappear. Self-seeking slipped away. This is when I can say that the miracle happened. My whole attitude and outlook on life had changed. I no longer believed that death or prison was what I deserved, or even what I wanted or what I needed. I seen a new way. I graduated Revive on July 19th, 2022, and I moved into Oxford House, Havasu. Another place I didn't want to be, even after Revive, but it was suggested. And so I knew so far the suggestions were good, so I was going to keep going with them. Within the first week, I had a job at Garrity Landscape, and I'm still there currently. I'm actually the foreman for them now. And I was enrolled into Southwest for ILP services. My fear of people and financial insecurities was now back in my control, because everything had to be in my control still. Or so I thought. I found my fear of people wasn't in my control when I entered the rooms of NA and AA on my own, out from under the umbrella that Revive had provided for me. There was new people in there, new problems, and all their stuff wasn't my problem, so I didn't really care. I didn't want to work the program anymore, my choice to live in Oxford House is what really helped me. I had agreed whenever I moved into Oxford House to follow their guidelines and attend five structured meetings, 5 AA, NA, CR, whatever it was, per week. I followed their guidelines and their rules. And I started to enjoy the rooms. I started to make friends. I started to, understand what was going on with Southwest's help. I started understanding because Southwest was teaching me what I was hearing in the room, mainly because the people in Southwest are in the rooms. And so they were able to give their experience and their example, and I was, okay, I get that, you know. They have a 3-step program through their IOP, and it was amazing. I got to hear from people that have been all the way to the top in the programs, to people that have been in long-term recovery, to people that are more on the Al-Anon side with their workers there, and it was a well-rounded experience. They also helped me to understand that the people in the rooms were in the rooms for the same reason that I was. Not that I was a troublemaker or had 19 previous alcohol-related convictions. But they helped me realize that I was an alcoholic and that I'm an addict. And I will be for the rest of my life. And I'm grateful to be, honestly. Now at this point, like, heck yeah, you know, I got to jump on life now. I accepted this and I became willing to do all of the things suggested to me by the court, probation, Revive, Southwest, Oxford House. And because of those suggestions, I now have a sponsor that I rely on all the time. I have an entire community of people. Everybody that I know is in recovery. Pretty much everybody I associate is in recovery, and I can lean on any one of them, including my girlfriend. My God was with me the entire time. The whole time I was cussing him, why aren't you with me? Why aren't you with me? He was the whole time. All I had to do was become open-minded, willing and honest to see it all. And then I realized that I was with him because I realized that all that whole time, in all the good and bad, I was like, why are you doing this to me? And then I was like, oh shit, I do believe. Pardon my language. I was like, oh man, there's a lot more to this than I thought. So these are just the promises, just continually unfolding for me. The situations that used to baffle me suddenly had simple solutions. All I had to do was work an honest program, and that program is simple. I mean, you know, it's a small little box on the wall, 12 steps. It's pretty simple, especially with God's help. I dedicated myself to truth and goodness. That's what it took. Every time I thought about telling a lie or something like that, I paused and I'd just be like, no, that's not the truth. Let me tell you the truth. If it wasn't good for the other person or for me, I refrained. I'd just be like, you know what? Like, if somebody was having a conversation and it's a guy conversation over at work about how good this girl looked or something like that, you know what I mean? I just turned around and I walked away. That wasn't goodness for me. That wasn't what I needed in my mind frame. It changed my mindset. I just didn't need that. And because of all that, I now have a new freedom, and I can honestly say that I'm happy. An older gentleman with several years in the program said something to me one time, or said it in the meeting, and he said that he found a comfortable way to live without the use of drugs or alcohol. And I can honestly say that I can do that, or I do that now. I have found a comfortable way to live without the use of drugs or alcohol, and I know how to always come back to that. I want to thank everybody that I mentioned, and to the newcomers. There's quite a few of you here in phase 1, or that might even be in here someday that aren't even part of it, or if you're friends to it, don't leave before the miracle happens, because I wanted to and I didn't, and it has happened for me. with that, I really appreciate and respect everybody that's in here. I appreciate your time. And I really do have love for everything now. Thank you.
All right, Derek.
This is what I want.
And then here's your certificate.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Congratulations. Good job. All right, we had planned for one more graduate in Lake Havasu, but there were some recent circumstances which just make it not possible. So we're going to move on to Kingman. And yeah. And before we get to our graduates, we have a couple of phase promotions that are maybe a surprise, but moving from phase 2 to phase 3, Travis Black. Good job. There you go. And by the way, thanks for bringing Moises with you. We saw you. Good to see you. Also, moving from phase 4 to the 5th and final phase, Bandy Vote. Come on up. So our first graduate from Kingman is actually getting a couple of certificates. Because I will say this, we've had debates about this type of award because this award is not really what the program's about, but we do want to recognize when someone makes it through the program sanction-free. And this next graduate made it through sanction-free. So. And again, that's not the goal of the program. It's a tough program. But this gentleman has certainly earned it and worked hard. Please welcome Mr. Michael Keeney. He brought his own box of Kleenex. Holy cow. There's more down there if you run out.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Oh, my goodness. This is where I didn't sleep last night. There's been a week coming up to this, and how do I start? How do I finish? And what do I say? The only thing I can really say is I better take my speech out of my pocket so I can read it. I left it in the truck when I first got in here. But to start with the gratitude, the people that I am so grateful for that put me in this position. I mean, I got arrested in 2018. And they came in like I was public enemy number 1, and I didn't think I was that bad, so I had a lot of hatred and anger and all of that despair and stuff like that. But I got over it. But the gratitude that goes with this part is I was on probation, and I was on a sanction to where I was gonna either go to jail, which is not just jail, it's prison for a guy at my age too. Or they said, you can go to drug court. And well, drug court. Doesn't sound like it's too hard, I can do that. I promise not to use profanity, but that's bull garbage. It is a hard program, and I've been real fortunate to have a lot of support. Start with Judge Williams and his staff, the people that you don't see that's part of his staff, the probation department. And a funny thing about probation is I've had 3 probation officers, and then the one lady who's in charge of probation through the staffing Her name is Susan. I've had Susan, Stephanie, Sonia, and Sherry. The 4 S's for probation. Kind of unique. And then I started services at Southwest Behavioral. I originally pushed myself into Mojave Mental Health thinking nobody will know what I'm doing and I'll make it look like I'm doing good. It was all a big show. I got caught in the show. Then I ended up at Southwest Behavioral and a lady named Shelley Banks and her backup, Nikki Saber. And they said, nah, we aren't gonna let you get away with this garbage. And they didn't. And Shelley is very, very straight up. Here we go. Anyway, because of them, I gained employment through Southwest Behavioral. And I'm part of a vocational program that's headed by a lady named Chelsea, who's been sitting next to me over there. And the whole staff, the judicial part, the probation part, the Mojave Mental Health and Southwest Behavioral, and those services are tremendous opportunities for those of us in this position. And you've heard a lot of stories about a lot of people. We all had the same position. It was either do what we say or see you later. That was our option. So we're gonna do what they say. And one of the other things that I've had so greatly for support is my family. Now I'm really gonna cry. I have an older sister. I have a son. I have 3 sons actually, but I have a son that stepped up because I have 4 sons actually. I had a 4th son over 60 years old. I'm usually the oldest person in the room and I tend to make a point of that. But I had a son at well over 60 years old and he was taken away because CPS was gonna grab him. My son stepped in an emergency foster home program and took over. When I looked at this boy when he was born, I went, God, he looks like he's my boy. But he couldn't be because I had a vasectomy in 1988. So there's no way I'm gonna have another child. Well, guess what? Going through the adoption process, I asked the judge, I said, don't you think we ought to make sure that this is one of my kids? She goes, why would you say that? I said, well, a vasectomy in 88 tends to make you think that might not be mine. We're gonna DNA test you. And it came back positive. I had another son. Well, my 3rd son stepped up and said, Dad, I've always wanted to have a kid. And his wife and him couldn't have kids anymore. So they adopted him. So I have my number 3 son is raising my number 4 son. And I am now, it's almost like the song, my own grandpa. But it's a tremendous story, and it's such a blessing to keep the blood inside of the family. It really, really is. And I've been blessed with a lot of these things like this, and so many things like that. Going through the program, I didn't try to do it sanction-free. I just did what I was told. When I first started, I was working still. I hadn't retired yet, and they said, no more working for wages. You got this program, you got to stick with it. You got this to do, that to do, that to do, that to do. And I said, okay. So I quit working for wages. Well, I got a retirement income, so I went on Social Security. And then I got hired at Southwest Behavior. So I get a little supplement to that Social Security. So I'm doing okay. I'm not rich and famous, but I could get famous still. I still got time. All of the support that I've had, I am very strong in a 12-step fellowship program. You've heard a lot about it today. The NA program is a tremendous program for those of us that are addicts. For the longest time, I never considered myself an addict. I started getting high at probably about 8 or 9 years old, so that makes me definitely an addict. That's 60 plus years of using that is not a point of pride, it's just a matter of fact. I'm really, really happy for where I'm at today. I haven't used anything since June 6th of 2022. Everything that I've done according to the court systems and my probation officers and Southwest Behavioral's advice and the IOP classes that I've taken and so on and so forth. Another counselor that I had over at Southwest, Elaine Cummings, is a tremendous lady. She'll either make you cry or she'll make you laugh. There is no in between with her. She says she doesn't do anything, but she does everything for you. I finished my last council meeting with her a week ago today, and she shook my hand and said, now you're a comrade in working, you're no longer a client. And I said, okay. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all of these things that are falling out, but I really appreciate the things that have happened for me on these programs. If they didn't have these programs, there's so many people out there still suffering. There's so many people out there still using that are going, well, you know, screw these guys. They don't need to do this. They don't need to do that. I had that mindset when I first started through this. I was just going to get through it and be done with it, and I'll go back doing whatever I was doing before. Hang on. I've changed that mindset now. I probably won't use ever again. You can't never say never in these programs because you never know what's going to happen. But the one thing I have is I'm very strong in the fact that if there's somebody out there that I can help, I'm going to try and help them. I've been called a lot of things. One of them is the rescuer. I'm not out to rescue you, but if there's a way that I can get you to a meeting and you're on the way, I'll pick you up. What the hell? I have a lot of friends that are here today, and I have a tremendous amount of support. They're probably better than, and they are all true. Every single one of them is as true as can be. I've never had that before in my whole life. I mean, I've always been independent. I've always worked. I never had a problem working. If I didn't have a job, I bought a job. I owned donut shops, and I did different things in business, and I took care of different things, and I learned trade from my brother-in-law, laying carpet and cleaning carpet and doing carpet. So then I went into home renovations and cleaning up people's messes. After the drug addict moved out, I went in and cleaned up after him. That was the way I made my income. So it was kind of, oh yeah, one's taking care of another, but it doesn't happen that way. Once I retired from everything. I retired from the contacts that I had. I retired from the bad environment that I was living in. And I've reacquainted myself with my sister. It's very important to me. There were 6 of us to start with. There's 3 of us left. I lost my brother a little over a year ago. He was a good guy. I lost my little sister years and years ago. She was a tremendous little girl. My older brother, he was the one who kind of, I want to be like him. So that's why I got doing what I was doing so early, but it's not to blame on him. It's just the fact that I just wanted to be like him. Now I just want to be like me. And I want somebody else, maybe they can look up at me and say, this is a way we didn't want to be the way I did it, but this is the way I turned out. I'm glad about the way I've turned out. Everything's going good. Everything's going to keep going good. I appreciate everything that everybody's done. And I will always show that appreciation. If I don't, the power greater than me will definitely let me know it. Because he has been very, very good to me. And I think I'm just gonna close it all up because it's gonna be real quick and easy. I got 2 pages of BS here, and I just shot from the hip tonight, or today, or this afternoon, or whatever it is right now. I didn't sleep much last night because this has been a real nerve-wracking experience for me, but I'm so glad that it's over. Thank you. I was wondering how you had all that room down there.
Yeah. Here's your certificate you made.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Oh, I almost forgot. That's yours too. Yeah. Do you want your Kleenex back?
Eli's still gotta go, so we get
all right. Our next and last graduate for the day Eli Rodriguez. All right, you got this.
Hello. I had a good childhood and growing up, two loving, supporting parents who taught me respect and good work ethics. I went through private Christian school for the last 4 years of my 12th grade education. My addiction started at an early age. I was 17 when I started working for minimum wage. I was introduced to meth through coworkers. I soon became dependent on the drug. Not realizing I had a problem, I went on to use for the next 36 years. Tried numerous times to quit, but failed every time. I was able to remain clean 2 out of the 36 years due to jail or prison. To me, it was a way of life, a daily routine, like having your coffee in the morning or caffeine fix before work. I didn't see the damage it was slowly doing to my health and the way it changed my personality and attitude. Whenever I was coming down, how angry and annoyed I would get with just the normal things in life. Now I look at this program as a lifesaver. I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to fall into this life-saving program. I feel that without this program, it would be next to impossible to succeed in my recovery. First, I want to thank God for getting me through this. Program. All who had part to do with my recovery, from Judge Williams to the drug court probation team, Southwest Behavioral. I want to especially thank Shelley Banks for being the greatest influence in my recovery. In 19 months of intense counseling, she instilled confidence in myself and taught me relapse prevention by teaching me the tools to use and how to set boundaries, people, places, and things. Knowing and using these tools has made me succeed in my recovery. Thank you, and God bless you.
Well done. Well done. So come over here. This is for you, as well as this coin. Okay. And then here's your certificate. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I've told everybody that we would be done by noon, and we will be done by noon, but there are a few more things to cover, okay? And then, I know, but first of all, before I forget, graduates, you are not free to go. We need you to come up here for a group photo when we're all done, please. And also, if you would like to take pictures with family, friends, Elaine or Shelley, whoever, please do so, but you need to stick around. We would like to get a group photo of the graduates, okay? So, first of all, I want to point out something. Our graduates may have made it seem easy to come up here and talk. They were all really nervous, okay? Because public speaking is not easy. It does not come naturally to anyone. And so I'm really impressed with the speeches, as well as Kelly Williams. I would just offer a round of applause to our graduates and our speaker. I mean, coming here and addressing a big room, it really is an act of bravery, so thank you all. Also, there are some thank yous I would like to pass out. First of all, rather than naming you all, I'm just going to ask if you are a member of any one of our recovery court teams in any of the 3 cities, would you please stand and accept a round of applause? Again, thank you. This program is not possible without you. This is a treatment court program. We wouldn't be anywhere if we didn't have treatment involved, and we have such a vibrant, dedicated team in each of the 3 cities. It's wonderful. And this is a segue to really the people that make all this happen and keep these connections and keep things going is our probation department, and I would like to thank Stephanie. I would like to thank Sarah and Roman, our recovery court POs. Susan Davidson, our recovery court, treatment court coordinator. Sometimes she plays the bad cop to my good cop, sometimes vice versa, but she's really an important part of the program, so thank you. And also, these programs would not exist if we did not have the support of people from on high. And I wasn't going to announce this, but he's here, and I'm going to announce it. You know, our probation chief, Alan Palomino, was really instrumental in getting this program off the ground back in April of, 2012-ish, 2013. It wouldn't have started without him, and it would not be here if it were not for him. And I'm bringing this up because I, along with several people, are very kind of bitter and angry at Alan because he did announce his retirement. And so he's always welcome to these ceremonies, but this is really his last recovery court graduation as probation chief. And so I wanted to single him out, hopefully not embarrass him, although I've never seen him rattled in 20 years. But Alan Palomino, thank you so much. And I don't see them here, but I want to acknowledge them anyway. Derek Carlisle is our presiding criminal judge. Thank you to him and our entire criminal bench for supporting our program. Our presiding judge, Steve Moss, also. I want to point out Hildy Angus. Is she here? She was here. One of our supervisors and has always been just a huge supporter and fan of this program. So thank you to her as well. And if there are dignitaries that I have overlooked or I'm not seeing, I apologize. Thank you, though. Couple more points, and then I promise I'm done. Yeah, you've been to my court before, I can tell. There was a phrase that I heard within the last year or two that just kind of stuck with me. I love it because to me this is what it's really all about. And you've heard it said before, I'm sure. Connection is the opposite of addiction, right? You would think sobriety is the opposite of addiction. It's connection. The connections are so important. There's some buzzwords we throw around like recovery capital, which is important, but one of the things we try and emphasize is that hopefully you build connections. And I've tried to tell our graduates in the weeks leading up to today to remind them that just because this program is over for them doesn't mean that life ends. Life is going to go on for them. And this is true for everyone in here. Life has daily blessings if you look for them. Even in some of the tough days, there are many, many blessings, even for those that may not kneel. Lots of blessings every day. There's also a lot of tough times. There's a lot of tragedy, a lot of things to overcome in life. This is where the connections come in. If you graduated today, God, congratulations. That's a huge milestone. I urge you to maintain your connections to sober support, the connections of the people that love and support you in healthy ways, the shoulders that you can cry on, the people that you can lean on in times of need, the ones that will hold you accountable, or better yet, help you hold yourself accountable, give you honesty, and expect things from you, meaning I've said this before, people tend to play to expectations in sports and everything else. If you don't expect much from someone, you're not going to get much out of them. You need to surround yourself with people that expect good things from you and expect you to set goals and accomplish them, maybe challenge you in some ways. So maintain those connections and you will be just fine. For those of you that are in the program, maybe new to the program, I hope you got something out of today from listening to Kelly, from listening to our graduates. All of these graduates, everybody's journey is different. Everybody's origin story is different. But you're all here for the same reason and have some similar issues. And so hopefully you got something out of the speeches. I know I did. Again, this is going to carry me along for quite some time because they are eye-opening, sometimes overwhelming when you think about some of the traumas that our clients have endured, but there's always this message of hope, this inspiration, and so I hope you got something out of that. So, and if you are not a client of the program, if you're here in support of a client, thank you so much for being here and being a part of this as well. With that, I think we will wrap. So graduates, please make your way up here, and that concludes the ceremony. Thank you all. All right. Not so bad. Yeah.